my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Okay, so first I have my Liberty Love t-shirt on. I thought this is so cute. It just works with all kinds of pants that you might wear for the summer. I think it's just a perfect summer t-shirt with a beautiful star with the heart inside. So remember, there's also, oh, what do we have? I didn't get it. Remember, we've got the mugs with it on there, and the cute zippy bag with the hearts on the back. And Yvonne sent me this charm with the coffee. Whoops, it's backwards. There we go. So I put that on there, Yvonne. Ah, so cute, our ambassador Yvonne. And look at the notepad with the hearts on the back. Okay, so I had to be sure you saw all that because I haven't showed it to you again. But I love it. I love it. I love it with these pants. Okay. On the wall is my library quilt. It's quilted and I need to pick the binding. So I put a bunch of bindings up there, and let's get the other camera and take a close-up. Let's look at the options before I take this down. Also, I'll show you the quilting that my long armor Karen did for me. My buddy Karen. So first, I went looking for something that was kind of the shade of this. I only had a fat quarter of this, and part of it was used. There was just no way it would do binding. But I do have enough of this tan, which is very similar. It's not the same shade, but it's very similar. I think it looks great. It's a great option. Okay, up in the top, this is a piece of grunge fabric, which is a brand, and I don't have enough of it. I'd have to order it, and I really don't want to order anything. Here is a green from Promise Me, which I really like. That green is the one that has some gold in it. Here you can see down here. See, this is it. So it's got that gold in it, which actually looks really good. It picks up the kind of the yellow green. And so that is one that I do like a lot. All right, the big plaid. Now, I showed our ambassadors, and a lot of them really like the plaid, and I like it too. The problem is I would love it on bias, because that I think would work really well. It is a wide plaid. Here it is. It's a wide plaid. And so the problem is, as I'm auditioning it here, you can see it goes from black down to white, and that's going to be what it'll look like if I put it on binding, because I don't have anything wide enough. This is what I have left. I had decided to use it for the backing because I didn't think I wanted it for binding. Okay, lesson learned. So I probably should have used something else for the backing, because I used this floral and then this on, this plaid on either side. So I think it would be just a bit, it's not going to look like plaid. If I'm folding this over like this, here's what I'm going to have. Sort of this, and keeping it straight, if I even have enough. I can't really fussy cut it that well because I don't have very much of it. So I would have to just take what I get, and I think it would just be like alternating between this black, and green, black and white, and I just don't think it's gonna look nice. So the other one is the stripe that I have here in the sashing. Now look at the stripe in the sashing. I didn't do it vertical. I did it long ways to give the feel of the shelf. So if I did it for binding, I would want to do it vertical. So I have the little, the stripes that way, which I think is nice. I like it. It's a good option. I actually like all of them. I would love, I'm not going to buy any more fabric, but if I did, I would probably go for the plaid now that I see it there. Hindsight, right? So here's the quilting. Look at this. It has dragonflies and flowers and ferns. Look at this. Isn't that fabulous? It just looks so good on here. Really, really good. Lots of great texture, and on the gray background, it's just spectacular. It gives the back of the bookcase that really lovely texture, and it just sort of blends in on everything else. So cool. All right, so you're going to tell me, which binding do you like? Decisions. That is my hanging sleeve. That's what that is. Oh, I forgot to say, this plaid, which I could do on point, on bias rather, so that it's like this. You see, it has that sideways. But the green just doesn't do anything for me. It just, you know, everything else is a much better option. I think it's a hard decision. The black plaid, black check, whatever you want to call it, that is used in some of the books is really darling on there. It picks up the other black. I mean, I might just look to see if there's another black similar feel in what I already have that's more, that I have more of, that I could do on the bias, and I might look at that. I also really like my Promise Me in the green, because that gold picks up the yellowy leaves in that border. Okay, you know, it is always, it's like the finishing touch. It's like putting on your earrings at the very end of getting dressed, you know. So it's like, gotta just pick the right thing, pick the right thing. Now, I did finish the bindings. We're gonna stay on binding here for a second. I'm gonna finish the binding. I did finish the binding for my flag from the Liberty box at the Fat Quarter Shop. And I also did a little video. So first let's look at the flag, and then I'll roll into the video. I have it hanging here in my kitchen. I think it looks really darling. Look at that. So cute. And there is the binding. Look, I did the blue. So there we go. Looks good. Let me show you here, machine binding. I've sewed it to the back, pulled it to the front. And what I'm doing is, here's the seam the binding was stitched on with, this light blue. And you can see it in this, you know, on the white best. So I use light blue thread. And so what I'm doing is using the stiletto, and here's what the stiletto looks like. Whoops. It is like the seam ripper, but with a straight, pointy piece on the end. And I am gently just holding that just past the seam allowance. Past meaning this side. I want it to be on the inside, not out here on the seam allowance, because then it will stitch on the binding on the back. If I get it past the line, it stitches in the background, like right on the edge. So that's the sweet spot. And you have to go a little bit slower to make this happen. It's still much faster than doing it by hand. And if you have arthritis, problems with your hands, this is a lifesaver. I bet the camera is actually on part of the quilt, so I can go along. Here we go. And then I will show you the back after I show you the next part. There's some extra thread we don't need. Okay, so there's you go. You're just going right past and sewing very, very close to the edge. Let me show you that. See how close it is? You can see. Right, so it's like an eighth maybe in from the edge. So I just wanted to show you what happens when you're not paying attention. Do you see I was putting the binding on and I didn't check to see where the point was. So I totally chopped the point way off on there. Not good. And I did a little bit on that one. So what I could do is, at this point it says back stitch. I could go and reattach the binding. And I might for this one, because that's quite a big chunk. So you can see there I fixed it. It's now going to be right at the edge, and I fixed that one too. So I ended up sewing right along to there, and so now the binding will come over, and I will just be stitching it, top stitching it down right at that edge like that. Let me show you. So I have this binding now that will just pull right here. So I will just be covering the line and then top stitching like I did here, which is like just a fraction in from the seam. So the top stitch is just a fraction in from the seam. I am going to try to show you this one-handed. So let me just get it started, because I can't start it, but I'll get down to this point and start filming again one-handed. So I'm down to this part, and I'm just taking the stiletto, that's what this is, so that I can pull it just past the seam line. And that little point will just it'll get banged out a little bit. Then I can check. I'm doing this slowly. The camera is actually sitting on the table here. I'm not sure how well this is working. We'll see when I look at it. But here we come across again. I'll come up to the next one. and I'm pulling it just to that edge. And this is why I often will put another piece of little teeny weeny border around it. That's distorted, but it's not really distorted in real life. I can see that in the camera. It's just a camera angle thing. Okay, so I'm going to put my finger in here and be sure I'm getting this folded over, right? Over, covering the line. And I'm just sewing ever so close to the edge. Yeah, I've got it tucked underneath. Hold on. There we go. Got to release it. So, okay, there we go. Tucked over. Come along. And see, I'm just covering up that line. Okay. Flipping it over, you can see now the back side. When I pulled it past, here I was pulling it just past the seam, then it kind of runs along the edge. But when I was doing the stars earlier, okay, here's the star portion. Well, not stars, it was the one star portion. The problem there is because I did not do an extra little binding around here, I'm having to come right up to the edge, and there's, you know, the problem ones I was just showing you. Then I have to sew on the binding on the back. This does not bother me one iota. And some people, like here now, I'm off of that, so I'm on the background again. But, you know, there are ways to do it without that, but I don't mind it, so it doesn't bother me. It just looks fantastic there. Now, I will only leave that up for maybe a week or so because I'd like to put something else there that'll sort of maybe go through the rest of the summer. And I started thinking, what I really love the sayings on here, and I love the houses. So I thought maybe what I'll do is just 4 houses and use 2 sayings and 2 of the quilt blocks for the middle of the houses. I think that would be really, really cute. And then I could just pick the fabrics, like the blues and the red, like the summer blue, because there's a bunch of summer blues, and then pick a little red. Maybe I'll make one of the houses a full house, like I like this one, with the full house as a blue, and then 2 sayings and a quilt block middle, and do a 4 block for up there, because I think that would be really, really cute. Once again, the panel is in the kit. There's still a couple of kits left. I think there's less than 10 now of the kits left. And maybe some fat quarter bundles. The pattern itself is also available just as a pattern. But here, it's like, I like this one. You know, I like this one. Be of good cheer. And I do like the log cabin block with the heart. So I think that one for sure. And then one of the other sayings. So there's 2 other sayings. Be happy with simple pleasures and have courage when things go wrong. Or I have, many eyes go through the meadow, but few see the flowers in it. So I don't know. Or maybe I'll just do the one saying and a house and 2 of the pattern, the quilt block things. So I can play around with that. But definitely the blue with a little touch of red. And I think that would, then maybe a little squares for the border or something like that. Something that'll fit exactly that size in the kitchen. Next, we have more things today, a lot of things. The charity quilt along this is the day for the month of July for the charity quilt along, Bountiful, which is to support Make-A-Wish. I'm doing with Fat Quarter Shop. And you get the layout now so that you can do the layout. Now, because I have to get mine all filmed and sent in so they can do photography to put it up for auction, mine is much further along. But I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to hang it up behind me, so just give me a minute. Here it is. Here is my Bountiful. I used a fabric line from the French General designer called Bleu de France, and I actually have a Jolly Bar of it too. That Jolly Bar comes with that pattern. But that's the fabric line that I used. Look, then I added in some gray, a green that I've had forever, and then kind of a tonal green that was is grunge, which is also that designer's lines, and then the rest is from that fabric line. Oh, another lighter green there, this lighter green. And then pop a yellow. So the rest of it was from the fabric line. The blue, the brown, Toby browns, just so gorgeous. So with the layout today, you only have the backing, which is, they have a pieced backing, which has some butterflies on it and is so beautiful. I will show you mine next month. but I'm going to actually take this outside along with the starlets, so that you can see the summer starlets, mine and the one that mine with the border that I picked and without a border, and then I'll also hang this on the clothesline. Here we go outside on the clothesline. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Let me show you the quilting up close. There is a feather, or not a feather, yeah, kind of a feather or a leaf, and then it's intertwined. So where it comes to the point, the opposite two have the leaf shape, and then it goes like that, alternating. So you can see it here in that part really well. Look at this. So this week you have the layout so that you can lay all of your blocks together, all the finishing, any finishing measurements, which I guess is just the outer border at this point. But you can get it done. You can get wrapped up. My Bountiful quilt will be going to support Make-A-Wish, and we're doing this with the Fat Quarter Shop. And they have been so generous to be doing their own donation to Make-A-Wish, as well as Motive Fabrics is doing a donation to Make-A-Wish. So it is a great, great thing to be involved with. If you have not started yours, you can still get one. And then I did the binding in a light fabric. So there we go. It's the same that I've got as part of the backing. Next month, in August, you will get the pattern for a pieced backing, and I will also show you mine then. But I have to get this ready to be sent to the Fat Quarter Shop for photography. So what I'm going to do now is take this down and put up the summer starlets. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this. Look at this. Aren't they great? Okay, let's flip the camera around. So the difference is a border. The middle part's exactly the same, but I wanted you to see what the difference is. I guess I could have shifted them to the right a little bit, huh? So we're like snug up to this tree. I was sure I had enough room. So it's just a top yet here, and this one's all quilted. The Fat Quarter Shop did this version. You can see again they're quilting these diamonds. Isn't that pretty? And I love my porch swing, this black and white as the binding on that one. I love it. Now that's not probably going to work for mine with the border. I'll probably do the dark purple. That's what I do. So I did pick purple. You purple people eaters out there, that's what I picked. My one brother's favorite color is purple ever since he was a kid. Isn't that fun? I love it. Oh my goodness. So it just gives it a little extra width and a little extra length to put that border on. And I'm going to use purple Harmony wide back, my Harmony wide back, and I'll show you that when we go inside. I'll hang this one up behind me. Oh, we need to see the backing. So here it is, the purple. We'll just go on the other side. What's nice about the clothesline, so you just go to the other side, not like no stand in the center. There we go. That's the purple floral. Doesn't that look great? Look at it. So that's why I decided to do Harmony wide back on the other one, to give us a little bit different. This will have to go back to the Fat Quarter Shop. That is their quilt. So, there we go. Let's go back inside. It is humid and the gnats are like all over me. Doesn't it look great? That's so fun to do it outside. Oh, I should do that more often because we get a really nice view of it. So here is the Harmony wide back. There's two shades of purple in the Harmony wide back. This is the one that actually matches with this. It's a more, bluey, I think, purple for this guy. So I'm going to use that. And then tomorrow I'm going to talk about summer memories, which is, I'm just feeling rushed, so I don't want to squeeze it in here. I want to talk about it and show you a few things on that. So we'll do the summer memories tomorrow on Saturday's video. I just want to show you holding it up. So I'm going to hold up the summer starlet. So it is about like holding it here, like the middle of my forehead. That's about how long it is, which is a fabulous size without the extra border, which I cut 3.5 in case you've forgotten what I told you the other day. So, okay, so that will go off now to the spa and be done. Okay, also if you could share with me what you think of my bindings, which bindings, and show me your charity quilt, the status, where you're at. I'd love to see it. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.